Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. In our video today, we're going to show you how to paint this beautiful farmhouse style DIY. You can make this DIY for under $5. I'm going to show you step by step how to do the painting. If you're new to our channel, Southern gmoregals, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and let's get started with making our picture. So I purchased my frame with the glass in it from the Dollar Tree, and the frame is a black frame. That was the only color that they had in an 11 by 14 inch. And the first thing that I wanted to do was it has the little metal pieces to hold the glass in, and I'm going to pull those out. If you just wiggle those back and forth, you can pull those out with your finger. They come out pretty easy. If not, you can grab a pair of pliers and you'll be able to pull those out. I didn't usually pliers, though. It was easy enough for me to just pull those out with my fingers. And after I removed those pieces, I spray painted my frame an espresso brown. I wanted the frame to look more like a wood stain or a brown instead of the black. And then I'm taking some of this E6000 glue, and I'm just real lightly going in the corners. I'm doing all four corners of my picture and just putting a little glue to hold the glass inside the frame. I didn't want to put a big gob here because you don't want this to show once you get your glass in here. If you squirt it up against the flat part of the glass, not in the corner, that may show on your picture. So I'm just going right around each edge with just a little bit of the E6000 glue and attaching my glass to my frame, and then I'm going to let that dry before I start painting. I saw a picture similar to this on sale online, and I wanted to recreate this in a budget-friendly way. So that's what made me decide to try to make this picture. These are some of the paints that I use. All of the paints that I'm using in my DIY purchase from Walmart, and these are the 50-cent apple barrel paints that are in the craft section. So that is a bright white. And then my brushes I purchased from the Dollar Tree, and these are brushes that I've had from other projects. But I like these little flat, medium-sized brushes. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the sides of my jar here. I'm using the white. I'm going to just do the sides of the jar, and then I'm going to go back after we get all of the floral items in the jar, and then I'll put the top of the jar. So right now I'm just making the sides of the jar, and then we're going to go to working on the floral items in the jar. And you don't want to put the top on the jar yet because you want the floral stems to look like they're going through the jar. If you do that now, then they're going to be going over top of the jar. So wait to do the top, and that's going to be the last thing that we're going to do on our painting. To paint the cotton balls, I'm using these round sponges. This came in a 3-pack from the Dollar Tree, and I'm using the smallest one. The smallest size is the one that I'm going to use, and you can see that I've used that before. It's got some black stain on it. But I'm going to use the bright white again, the same shade that I'm using to do the jar that I'm going to use to do the cotton balls, and I'm just dabbing this on. This works great to make a round shape. And then I'm going to go back once I get all the bright white cotton balls on here, you'll see, and we'll put a little bit of off-white for the shading to give it a little bit of depth or a little bit of contour. But right now I'm just going around with my sponge. I'm dabbing it in some of the white paint and making my little cotton balls. And this is very simple. Anyone can do this. This is not hard. If you put it in the wrong spot or you don't like where it's at, that it's on the glass, you can get some warm water and it'll wipe right off of here. So anyone can do this. We're going to show you step by step, so stick with us. you get all the desired cotton ball bunches that you want, I'm switching over to the off-white paint now, and then I'm going to use a thin brush. And again, I just have this brush from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going around some of the edges of the cotton balls just to give it a little bit of depth or a little bit of contour. I'm not going all the way around, just kind of picking one edge or one little side of a couple of the cotton balls to go around just to give it a little bit more contour. So I didn't realize that my camera was off, but I am just making my stems. I'm attaching those to the cotton balls and just running that just a straight line or a curvy line, however you want those down into your jar. And I'm using a Territorial beige, and that's another apple barrel color that's kind of a light brown. And then I'm going back on each side of those stems, and I'm just adding some little floral items. I'm just using a little brush and just kind of making a little rounded leaf on each side. And I'm mixing a light mocha is the color I'm using, with a little bit of off-white and a little bit of that Territorial beige, just kind of mixing those together and just going real easy on each side and just making a little leaf shape. This doesn't have to be exact, you know, just make you two little lines here or two little kind of ovals or humps. And then once we get all of these on here, I'm going to go back with the off-white, and I'm just going to make it a little bit more pointed once we get all of these on here and all of this dries. And here I'm going to start kind of the leaf of the cotton clumps or the cotton balls, and I'm using for this one, I'm using a nutmeg brown. This is a little bit darker shade of brown, and I'm just kind of making this kind of where the cotton balls look like they're kind of seated up in here, or this is kind of the leaves or the seed pod that's holding it. So this is more a little bit of curvy lines, just kind of like some big leaves almost is what we're making with this little bit darker shade of brown. And I'm going to go around to each clump and do these, and then we'll go back to working on our other little floral items here just to kind of fill in. But this is going to be the darkest color that's on the picture, is this nutmeg brown. And now I'm just continuing to add more of the stems and these little leaf florals. I just want this to be real full or real filled in around my cotton balls or the little clumps of cotton. So I'm just going back and adding some little stems in just where you think it needs to be filled out more, fill in, that's what I'm going to do. And then once all that gets dried, we'll go around with just the off-white on the tips to make a little bit more of a point. So now I've got all the floral and all the cotton balls, everything on my picture like I want it. And I'm just going to take some of that off-white paint and my small brush again, and I'm just going right on the tips of the little leaves just to give them a little bit more of a point or to add a little bit of shading. And I went through most of the leaves, not every single one of them, but most of them, and just tried to add a little bit of a point or give it just a little bit more color there. And you'll want to use the off-white. I wouldn't use anything, I wouldn't use the bright white again, or that might take away from the cotton balls in the jar. And now here's the final step on my picture. I'm just going to go back and complete the top of the jar. Just want to make a solid white line over the rim or the top of it. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of shading down in the right side. And I'm using that same kind of medium flat brush that I used to begin with to make my jar. And I'm going over this a couple times. Some of the off-white paint there wasn't quite dry, so I went over the corner there a couple times. But you want this to be the bright white. And then we'll do a little bit of shading in the corner here in just a second. So here's my finished painting. This looks great. This is a high-end look, and it only took a few dollars to be able to make this. It's really simple. Again, if you mess up a little place, being that it's on the glass, you can clean it off with some window cleaner or some water and start over. But really simple design, but Has a nice high-end look, also has that farmhouse look, and will coordinate really good with any neutrals that you have in your home. Well, we hope everyone enjoyed our video today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of this DIY. This is really simple, budget-friendly, doesn't take a lot of time to make. If you're new to our channel, we'd love to have you subscribe. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss any of our new and upcoming DIYs. We try to have new DIY videos out on Monday. We also have a Springtime in the Smokies series. If you're thinking about doing any traveling or would like to see something new, check out some of those videos. We're new to Instagram. I'm going to put the link down in the description box, so follow us on Instagram. I try to have a little sneak peek out on Sundays of the new video that's going to come out on Mondays. Thanks everyone for watching, and have a great rest of your day.